What it do, YouTube family? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. It is your boy Rob, Kiddo Rob, and as you can see, it's a different change to the channel. New name. You know, I've been doing a lot of deep thinking about what I wanted to do with this channel, what I want to do with my name, what I want to do with my life, and I started this channel to talk basketball. I started it to talk basketball. That was my main goal. I started doing the podcast with my cousins. It was a great time discussing basketball with them. I'll never forget that. And if I ever get the opportunity to do it again, the channel, it will get back to the channel. But I've strayed too far from it. I think I forgot what this was about. You know what I mean? I was just looking for the views and the clicks and whatever will get popping on the channel. But I want to do what I care about. And that's talking basketball, watching basketball, doing something relative to basketball. Now, I know the title of the video isn't what I have done before in the past. Here's what's happened. In deep monologues within myself, I don't want to cheat the game. I don't want to try to come on here in the middle of the playoffs and start talking NBA basketball. I didn't talk NBA basketball for almost 82 games. That's not fair to people that have been on this channel for a while. That's not fair to myself, and that's just not fair. So what I've done to give myself a chance to be more consistent is I plan to discuss WNBA content on this channel. I'm a fan of the WNBA. I've been a fan of WNBA since 2020, since the bubble, since Kobe passed. Big reason for why I started watching basketball and women's basketball, and I haven't regretted it since. I've loved every year I've watched it, and it's only getting better and better. I'm excited for this season. I'm already planning for the teams I plan to really watch this year. And to start off this journey, I wanted to start with my WNBA standings predictions. How many views this get, I don't really care. Like, I really just want to start somewhere so I can continue with the W, grow with the W, and also when the NBA season comes, I can have that sort of rhythm to continue with NBA conversations and go do both. You know, so it gives me that freedom to really develop my love for the game of basketball and talking basketball and going from there. So I hope you guys enjoy this new journey for Rob Loves Hoops. That's the first time we say it on the channel. Rob Loves Hoops. Make sure you guys have a like, comment, and subscribe. I promise not to let you down. Let's get into the video on me. Now, like I said in the beginning, we're here to predict the WNBA standings. That's going to take some while to say. We're here to predict the WNBA standings. If you're a fan of basketball, you know that the WNBA, if you're a fan of the WNBA, you know that this season is an interesting season. The last couple of years since I've been watching, the one team that has stood in the way of a lot of teams coming up into the playoffs, getting their chance in the playoffs, is the Connecticut Suns. And the Connecticut Suns took a big drop off. They're in their rebuild mode. So they're more than likely not going to be a playoff team. And teams like Mercury last year won a playoff team. Teams like the Sky weren't. They missed. Sparks, of course, are one of the worst teams. And so it was hard for me personally to sit down and come up with the standing. I really have to do some homework and figure out what I think from based off of last season going into this season, how teams moved offense through the off season, what was going to be potential standings I could see possible. I wrote down pros and cons for each team for why I think they will be or they could not be there. I'm nervous to share this because I don't want to come off as this know-it-all. That's not my intention. If you think I'm wrong, if you're seeing this video and you think I'm wrong with the team standings and you have a difference of why they should be higher or lower, I'm all ears, trust me. I'm more in the state, I want to learn. I'm here to learn the game. I'm not trying to be the fucking know-it-all that's like, oh, but no, like, nah, I'm not here for hot takes. I'm here to really just show, like, I love a W for real. So let's get into the video. So the 2025 WNBA standings. Oh, I'm nervous, y'all. For the 14th team, there's 13 teams now actually in the W. Shout out to the Golden State Valkyries, a team that I'm looking forward to. Oh, let me get the top of my chest now so y'all can understand. The teams I'm looking forward to watching the most, I live in Los Angeles. So the Sparks, the Golden State Valkyrie, the Indiana Fever, the Washington Mystics, the Dallas Wings. Those are my 5 teams I'm watching the most this season. I don't really like watching teams like the Liberty as often and the Aces because you know what they're going to do. But if I can tie it into a matchup for the Sparks versus the Valkyrie, I will. The Sparks versus Mystics, the Sparks versus a Seattle Storm, a Fever versus the Washington Mystics. I'm so excited for those matchups to see, but I'm also just excited to see how the Fever compete this year against teams that they struggle to compete with in the Aces and the Liberty, right? So it's going to be an interesting season for me to really immerse in those teams and how they develop throughout the year. Starting off with the 13th seed, like we said, to go to say Valkyrie. I think that goes out without saying for everybody that they should be the worst team in the league, and that's to be predicted. They are a new team, new organization, new players, new everything. They don't have any elite talent, I would say, to put them in positions to win more than 5 games this season, and that's okay. Things I think, for one, that are pros for them: no expectations. Kate Martin, that's just a little jokey joke, but like Kate Martin, you know, she has the fan base she has, so they're gonna have eyes on them. Completely fresh team. Players and head coach are compatible, right? So they added some players like the Kate Martins in the world. What's her name? It was Timmy. There we go. But they also added Tiffany Hayes, which I forgot. She better get traded mid-season. But they added some people that no expectations in the name, but they're coming to be some dogs and fight and compete at the level that they'll try to compete at, while also learning to, like, how do I say, learning to be part of a new culture. So it's going to be fun to watch them and see how much they compete on the defense side of the ball. I don't expect them to be a team that scores a lot of points. They should be the worst scoring team in the league because they just don't have it like that. They have a rookie. They have a couple of, I think, rookies, right? That should be interested to see how they play. And yeah, cons, I said it already. They'll be very bad. Moving on to number 12. Number 12, I forgot who I have myself. Oh, I do know who I have. Connecticut Suns. Connecticut Suns should be the worst team in the league. My biggest thing with them is they should not try to be a good team. They have some competent players on their team still, but they shouldn't try to be a team that is trying to win 10 games. You should be a team that's trying to win 8 or less games. You should be trying to give yourself a chance to get a high pick in next year's draft. If you fuck around and try to be competitive with the Mystics, who have a better roster than you do, you're gonna mess up your whole rebuild path. That is going to be annoying. So start off the rebuild now. Be strong with it. My biggest thing is like, RIP Sonya Rivers' mother. That definitely sucks to hear. We have other news that we'll get to later in this that kind of conflicted our standings, but you know, it's RIP to Sonya Rivers' mother. But the development of Nisha Morrow and Sonya Rivers' development is going to be cool. They get to come in immediately and be rotational players for this team, which is a big step for them, counter to some of their other draftees that they were along with, because they get to come in and immediately start playing basketball, really start learning the game, the competitiveness, the strengths, the weaknesses of the league, the pace, all of that. So that should be interesting and fun to watch for them. They have tradable assets and Marina Mainbury. She tried to request a trade this all season. It didn't work, so I expect her to be traded sometime this season to continue this team chances to have picks for the future and develop something for the future. Cons, like I said, do not try to win. Yeah, that's my biggest thing. Don't try to win. What is the point? Why do teams that know they aren't good try to be good? I'm here to teach. We're here to learn. We're here to grow, but we're not here to win 10 games. Like, I should not. Don't win 10 games. You should try to be worse than the Golden State Valkyrie. It's just gonna be hard to be worse than a team that legitimately is new to the league. At number 11, and this one hurts me the most because I think this team could do it. Los Angeles Sparks. I think the Los Angeles Sparks don't have a bad roster. I think they have a really good roster, if I'm being completely honest with you guys. They have De'Erica Hamby, who is she pregnant, right? Is she even playing to start the season? I have no idea how that's going to work. I don't know how that works. Cameron Brink is injured. She'll be back in June, if I'm not mistaken. They said she'll be back in June. So it's going to be a Kelsey Plum show, a Rakia Jackson show, a I can never say her last name, a Ray Burrow, her forehead big as shit. What's her name? Oh, I know her name. Azura Stevens. There we go. Azura Stevens, big head ass. That's gonna be an interesting one. Who else is on this team? They're such a weird team because this is the first time in a long time that Kelsey Plum is going to be put in a position where she's like the #1 option for the team, the main ball handler for the team. So it's going to be interesting to see how well she can carry a team for the first time in what, 5 years, 6 years. So I don't know how that's gonna work. So I don't want to put all my fingers into it, but I'm not saying it's impossible for her to do it. So my pros was they improved their guard position with the addition of Kelsey Plum. Cameron Brink will be back. Hopefully she can stay healthy. She's their only real rim protector. Azura Stevens is okay, but she's not a rim protector. De'Arica Hamby's more of a 4 in my opinion than like a 5. So like I said, is Kelsey Plum good enough to make this team competitive? And the coaching, I remember because I think I watched the coach media like when they got her. Was it her? I forgot. Is it a she? I think it's a she. I'm like 90% confident it's a she. Either way, the coach talked about shooting, 3-ball shooting. They want to be a 3-point shooting team. And I was, Kelsey Plum is in that 40% 3-point tile. I don't think Rickea Jackson is going to be super comfortable with the idea of just shooting a whole bunch of 3-pointers. De'Arica Hamby is going to be comfortable shooting a whole bunch of 3-pointer. Cameron Brink, and I don't know if they have the players outside to be an efficient 3-point shooting team. Are they just going to be shot chucking? Because that's just like playing as the Chicago Bulls, so we were just shot chucking because they have no other options. So pros and cons, right, for this team. Definitely a team that you could be like, they can be that 8th seed, that 7th seed. But in realistic, it's like, I don't know. It's a tough league. Going on to the next team, the Dallas Wings. Paige Bueckers, baby. Paige Bueckers is a really good player, but like for me, this team really is more than Paige Bueckers, because obviously Paige Bueckers is a great player. She's going to be a fantastic player. I can't wait to watch her in the WNBA. I'm excited for her because she doesn't have to come in and be the savior for the team. She doesn't have to be this immediate dominant ball handler that has a shot create for everybody else. She kind of just gets to play off Enrique. They brought in Dejanay Carrington. They brought in Alyssa Smith. They added a center. They have a really good unit. My biggest flaw with this team that keeps me from keeping them in that upper echelon is defense. It's defense. I don't trust Alyssa Smith as a defender. I don't trust Enrique to be a consistent defender. I don't trust Tiara McCohen to be your center. I don't love it. Right? The depth is interesting. I like Maddie. She's a good player. I actually really like Maddie. I think their point guard play is good off the bench as well. For me, this team is really the defense. And their best defender is Dejanay Carrington, hands down, right? She's a really good defender. But I'm trying to figure out, my question was, is she good enough defensively to make everyone else a better defender? Usually that's the center job. Centers make guards and wings better defenders because of their rim protector. But they don't have really a rim protector. They really have a center that you're going to pick on in the playoffs if they were to make it. I don't love it. I don't love it a lot. And Alyssa Smith's another guy. Like, she's at the wing. I don't know how much I love her on the same court with so many defensive liabilities, especially in the back end. I don't think Enrique's a terrible defender, but I don't know if she's an elite defender. I could also be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. But on the offense side, I think they have the best. I think that they should be one of the better offensive teams in the league with their starting 5, because they have multiple scorers on the court. Dejanay's no snob to be able to score the basketball. And Alyssa Smith, if she gets in the zone where she can get to the midi, get to the rim, she thrives in. As long as she doesn't get in a position where she has to take more than 2 threes a game, she's a good offensive player, honestly. A little slow pace, so hopefully they're not a team that's looking to run like the Indiana Fever were trying to do last season, and I think she could fit pretty seamlessly with that group. Next team, the 9th seed. Now hold on, this was hard. This was hard because after this, even this team, because I kind of think they can also give themselves a chance to be an 8th seed level team. This was hard. Every pick after this, because I think you can make real cases for the 9th seed that I have to be the 7th seed in this league. I think that you have a chance for them to be a 6 seed, a 8 seed. Like that 6th through 9th range, it to me is so floppy. Like any one of these teams can be it if given the right circumstances and ran the right way and coached the right way, and God willing, all like majority of their season is healthy. So unfortunately, I have to really get picky into what I think is better for teams to be playoff teams, top 8 teams. And unfortunately, at the 9th seed, I'm gonna have to go with the Chicago Sky. I like the Chicago Sky. I think I tweeted it during the offseason. I said I think the Sky had a really good offseason. My favorite people that they added, I think I put them on my list: Rebecca Allen and Kia Nurse. Those are by far better wing players than they had last season outside of Marina Bambury when they traded her. But post Marina Bambury trade, the wings they had were almost unplayable. They were almost unplayable. They had a guard, I forgot her name. She was like light skinned. She was like a point guard. She was like 6'10". She was like a point guard though, but she was weak. Lindsay Allen is not a good point guard. She refuses to, I won't say refuses, but she struggles to get the ball to Camila Cardoso or Angel Reese. So now they have Van Sloot, y'all. Courtney Van Sloot, one of the best point guards in terms of being a pure point guard I've ever seen. Like, she's going to do a great job, hopefully, getting the ball into Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso's hands to where they can really dominate basketball games and be a hard stuff for teams to go up against. I don't think defensively they should be weak. Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso are elite defenders. Kia Nurse and what's her name? Rebecca Allen are good defenders. I think they have everything you need to be a good team. I just question whether or not they're going to do the things I said, which is getting the ball to Angel Reese and Camila Cardoso on a consistent basis. Are they going to be a good 3-point shooting team? Like, because they have the shooters, but are they going to be a good 3-point shooting team? I also think they have some dogs in the back line with Elizabeth Williams, and they lost Isabel Harrison, which I'm kind of glad for Isabel Harrison, but they got some dogs in that back line. So I'm excited to see what the Chicago Sky do. Let me read my notes because I kind of forgot. Oh, Haley. They dropped the Haley this offseason, and I don't think Haley is someone that has to play because I think they have someone that could back up Van Sloop off the get-go, but she doesn't have to come in and be this immediate starting point guard or like a backup point guard for this team. I think she gets to really sit back and learn the game from afar, off the bench, learning from Van Sloop not how to play basketball, but how to like run an offense, especially when you have star players like Angel Reese and the potential of an all-star and Camila Cardoso. So she doesn't have to come in and be this be a immediate impact player. She gets to learn the game. I love that. I think cons, like I said, spacing. Angel Reese, I don't really see her 3-point shot developing at a pace that, I mean, there may be different question marks around this team, but I think this team can be good, and I think they can make my list wrong and be that 8th, 7th seed in the West, in the standings. It's really just a standings. There's East to West, but it's really just a standings. At number 8, we have the Seattle Storm, bro. Because I almost had this team missing the playoffs because they just lost Jewel Lloyd, and let's not act like Jewel Lloyd isn't one of our better players in the league. Jewel Lloyd is like a 25 per game scorer. I've seen her take over games where she just couldn't miss. I've seen her dominate a basketball game with one eye. She is one of the better players in the league. You don't lose her and get better. I need people to understand. You don't lose someone like her and get better. That's just unlikely. I'm not saying this team is going to be weak. I'm not saying they won't be the 6th seed. They won't be a top 5 seed. But I believe that this team is not the same team as last year. I think they're going to struggle being an efficient offensive scoring team because they just lost their go-to scorer. Onyeka Onwuemeke is good, but but she ain't an offensive demon. Now, let's be honest. She's a really good player, but she's not an offensive demon. Gabby Marshall, wrong person. Gabby Williams is good, a really good role player, but you're going to put her in a position to be a 25 points per game scorer? Probably not. Lexi Brown off your bench. Come on now. Alicia Clark back in Seattle. I don't know if y'all have watched Alicia Clark for the last 2 years. She can't make a three. Great hustle player. Good defender. I mean, I love Alicia Clark. Her first stint with the Seattle Storm made her, like, she was my favorite role player in the league. But Alicia Clark? Skylar Diggins is another one. Like, she cool, but Skylar getting up there in age. I don't know how much she can just carry this team to a playoff. I'm simply picking this team to be a playoff team over a team like the Sky because of veteran leadership and a little bit intelligence of how to win basketball games on a consistent basis more than the Chicago Sky. That's my only reason. Really, and logistically, what did I say? Oh, and a big reason is they drafted a generational talent, and that if she plays, they might be really good. From what I've seen of the girls, she can impact winning immediately. So I'll also say pros, if things don't start off good, they got people they can trade in Skylar Diggins and Gabby Marshall and Alicia Clark and Yeka Wumake and all of these people. So I really can't lose, honestly, with them. Next team, Washington Mystics. I need to start off with the obvious in the room. When I made this was pre the announcement, but it's unfortunate, but Georgia Amore, she tore her ACL in practice, and that's just the worst news you can get if you're a Washington Mystics fans, because I kid you not, I unfortunately had to work when the draft took place, so I couldn't watch the draft, but the fact when I found out that they drafted Kiki Irfan, Sonia Citron, and Georgia Amore, I was like, yeah, this team already was about to make the playoffs last year. You added 3 really good basketball players. No chance in hell you're not a playoff team. There's no chance you're not a playoff team, especially with teams like I said getting work in the Seattle Storm and the Connecticut Suns. There's no way this team can't give themselves a chance to be a playoff team. But that's probably, it still can happen because I think they have really good players. Brittany Sky is still there. Shakira Austin is a really good player. I talked about Megan in my notes, but like as good as she is, her name Stephanie. Megan's the one on the Aces. Stephanie Dolson, as poor of a defender is, she still makes good plays on the offensive end. They still have enough bodies to be a good team. So I'm excited for the Mystics a lot. It's just unfortunate that they will have Georgia Amore for this season. It's super unfortunate. But Sonia Citron, I think she's going to come in and be an amazing player. Like an amazing player. I was able to watch her with Notre Dame, and I was like, oh, this is who they've been talking about this whole time? I was like, oh, she's actually really good. If she played for any other team than that team, she would have probably been in the fucking championship game. Oh my god, imagine if she was on the UConn. No, UConn had enough help. UConn actually had enough help. UConn had enough help. And Kiki, USC, she was amazing. And one of the Sweet 16 after Juju went down? She was amazing. So I'm excited to see her play. It's going to be interesting, the battle between her and Aaliyah Edwards for that 4th spot. Good season. I mean, they probably could play next to each other as well, in a way. So I think a really good team, bro. I think that team can make the playoffs. I think they have the 7th seed. My biggest con for them that I put was, does being a youthful team give you less confidence to be one of the better teams in the league? That's always the question with youthful teams. It's like, you have the idea that, we're young, we're probably not even supposed to be this team that should be in this position. Wrong. If you have the talent and if you have the hunger, you can be a best team in the league. Hopefully they can showcase that. Also could be wrong, and they could be the worst team in the league. So we'll see. Next team, the 6th seed, the Atlanta Dream. Oh my god. Get off of me, because this is the hardest team, really. Because this team added Brittany Griner and Brianna Jones. 2 good centers. Brianna Jones was out there in Connecticut fighting for her life playing with Alyssa Thomas and having to deal with her. Like, she was out there balling as much as she could. Now she'll be the backup center to Brittany Griner, more than likely, and they get to play with the elite player Ryan Howard, who have a tremendous guard play in Jordan Canada and Alicia Gray, who was one of my favorite guards in the league mainly because she wears glasses just like me. Big fan, right? So I'm excited for that. In my notes, I said they got a new coach. From what I learned, the Dream fans were not liking the head coach that they had last year. They weren't playing a player that people thought they should have played. And I'm not even quite 100% sure if that player's still on the team. I think she is. But I think this team just has the pieces this season to be a better team. Brittany Griner is better than Tina Charles, who was there last season. And it's like, as good as Tina Charles was, I don't know. She's not Brittany Griner in 2025, you know. And Brittany Griner wasn't great either, but Brittany Griner is still a 7-foot player in the league. I exaggerated it, but you get what I mean. So that's going to be a fun watch. I also said that if they aren't good, it's time to blow it up. If they aren't good, remember, most people in the offseason sign 1-year deals because of the CPAs coming up, and people are going to get bigger deals in the next offseason. If they suck, time for the rebuild. Just time to start it over. And I need Ryan Howard on the internet. Indiana Fever. Don't shoot me. Oh, no. Before I get out of here, this is my girl out of Stanford. I love me some Haley Jones out of Stanford. Haley Jones has more than underwhelmed me for the majority of her WNBA career. She has not become the point forward I need her to become to be the team's running playmaker to win games. Like, she has struggled to really develop a real life all WNBA player potential, and it's pissed me off because she's a 6'2" point guard. She's a 6'2", 6'3" point guard. The fact that she refuses to get a jump shot kills me. The fact that she refuses to get a jump shot crazy me. I think she's a solid defender because she's a big defender, but like the fact that she's just like doesn't learn a jump shot, hasn't learned a jump shot in like the last 4 years of her career, it's beyond me, and it's pissing me off. I need her to get better. I think this team can go a long way if she gets better. So that's my little 2 cents for the Atlanta Dream. Next team, the number 5th seed, Phoenix Mercury. Did this team miss the playoffs last year? I'm like 90% confident of it. I also could be wrong. I just don't remember at this moment. This team added 2 players, Alyssa Thomas, Sato Salabali. God damn it. Sato Salabali. You know who I'm talking about. She missed half the season, pretty much. I don't even remember why, but she missed half the season last year with the Dallas Wings. Came back and started hooping, right? She was really good. She was okay. She could have been better. She gets out of there. She's now on this team. Alyssa Thomas, one of the players, not my favorite player. Don't really mind of her game. Hate that she shoots the ball one-handed. Who taught her that? She's just too strong for her own means. She doesn't lose often. And because of that, unless it's like the finals, she loses a lot in the finals. I don't think Connecticut has won. And she's been there like 3 times. She wins games. She's a winner at the end of the day. So I expect her to bring that same level of competitiveness and competentness to this team to be a really good team. I think she'll love playing with a Kalia Copper, who was an amazing basketball player on both sides of the ball. My biggest flaw with this team is their point guard play. They don't have a point guard. So far, I don't really know who that point guard is at that starting spot. They have Celeste Taylor, a fan favorite in the league, but I don't know who that starting point guard is going to be. We know it's going to be Kalia Copper at the 2, Sato at the 3, Alyssa Thomas at the 4, and at the 5 is going to be somebody. I unfortunately forgot their name. Or they may run. I think I put in my notes that they may run a lot of Alyssa Thomas at the 5. So it's like this. I'm putting a lot of my faith in the star power of their big 3 than relying on the surrounding pieces, which is kind of like not fair to the teams I have underneath them. But again, my respect for Alyssa Thomas is so high. Like, she reminds me of like a prime Russell Westbrook, where it's like, as weird as her game is, it's effective throughout the regular season. It's effective throughout the postseason as well. She has that certain dog to her, that certain competitiveness to her, that she doesn't really lose unless it's like against a team that's just better than hers. So I'm putting a lot of faith in her. Kalia Copper again, and the Edgerton Sato is no slouch in the park. Like, she's going to be really good as well. So I love it. I'm excited to see how this team plays out. And how about the 5th seed? Out of the 4th seed, if you haven't guessed, think, use context clues. If I haven't put this team yet, and you know they're not better than the next 3 teams, who's next? My favorite team in the league, the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever, baby. I'm so excited to watch this team. Preseason's around the corner at the time I'm posting this video. Hopefully I can post this either the day of preseason, or like the day of, which is that Friday, or the Monday of then. That being said, I'm super excited for this team. I think they filled their off season really good. Their biggest flaw to me is their backup point guard play being Sid Colson. I don't know how much I love that. Hopefully throughout the season, if someone becomes available, they can replace that with someone a little bit better than her, because I just don't trust Sydney Colson. If she wasn't getting PT with the Aces, why is she finna get real life PT with the fucking Indiana Fever? You know what I'm saying? So it's a little interesting, but they added DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard. So this, for me, DeWanna Bonner is an elite 3-point shooter, so I'm excited for that. Natasha Howard's not really an elite 3-point shooter. What I'm excited for is their defense. Last year, they weren't a great defensive team, although they have moments and they had bodies who were good defensive player in Lexi Hall and Aaliyah Boston. They didn't really have a true defensive identity. Their best thought was to outscore their team, and that's what they did majority of the time. But now they're trying to get better. It had to come from the defensive end, and I think they have that now. Lexi Hall comes off the bench now, bringing her energy, effort, and hustle off the bench. The same defensive player you saw last year, you'll see this year, just now off the bench, which is effective. I think the connection between Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell starting this season is going to be amazing for both. I think Aaliyah Boston now has a trustworthy 4 that she can switch with onto like center defenders than she did before. And this is no disrespect to Alyssa Smith. Alyssa Smith's a cool basketball player. She's not the type of basketball player that was going to fit next to Caitlin Clark. She's too slow-footed. She's too not selfish, but she needs the ball in order to be truly impactful. She needs to be able to get in her bag in the mid-range, at the elbow. She needs to be able to do that. And that just wasn't going to fit with the Caitlin Clark who's trying to run all fucking day. Up and down the court, score points, and get stops, score points, running. She just wasn't going to fit that. So now Natasha Howard, although she's not the same offensive player I think she is in Alyssa Smith, I think she'll do a better job of running the floor with a Caitlin Clark in transition and being a better defender next to Aaliyah Boston, helping this team be a better defensive team, especially when you got defenders like Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark that you got to protect. So I love this team. Did I miss any points? Oh, Sophie Cunningham off the bench as well is a really good, oh my god. Like, they're going to have off the bench Lexi Hall, Sophie Cunningham, Damaris Dantes, and Sydney Colson. That's their 9-man more than likely, right? Come on, bro. It's one of the best built rosters in the league, and I think because of that, they'll be the 4th best team in the league. At number 3, we have Minnesota Lynx. I think Minnesota Lynx finished 2nd last year. It was the Liberty, that was Minnesota Lynx. I don't really have anything negative to say about the Minnesota Lynx. My only thing is their center play is still questionable. I countered that with the idea that they're going to be a switch-heavy team to where they switch everything outside of point guards, of course. But they're going to switch everything regardless. They have my favorite role player in Alana Smith. I love me some Alana Smith. She's like the perfect role player. Like, there's no hole in her game. Yes, she's just not a superstar player, but she's a superstar role player. It's like crazy. She's like the Derek White of the league. It's crazy. So I'm excited to see how much revenge they're coming into the season with, because although it's easy to be like, yo, we're coming in revenge tour, we're trying to make sure that we're a championship team this year for sure, no doubt in my mind, it's also like, it's hard to do that the following season. So they can also be the number 1 seed, but they could be the 3rd seed. I think they're just still be one of the better teams. As I put, especially Collier playing with Chip on the starter, yeah. So that's gonna be fun. At number 2, we have the Las Vegas Aces, who had an underwhelming season last year, but it was understandable if you thought about it. Back-to-back championships, prep for the Olympics. I think they had 4 players in the Olympics. What chance in hell were they going to have in the playoffs? That fatigue. There was no chance they were going to be successful in the playoffs. So this year, having to add a Jewel Lloyd, like I talked about earlier this year, earlier in this video. It's going to be super interesting to see how that develops. The chemistry that comes from being in the Olympics together, how that would be kind of seamless now that I'm thinking about it. My biggest flaws is like the amount of mileage defensively Angel Reese is going to have to cover for this team, because I don't know if adding Jewel Lloyd makes them a completely better defensive team. And they also haven't added a reliable center that can play alongside Asia Wilson in 2024, 2025, and going forward. No disrespect to Kia Stokes, I just don't know how much I love that consistently. So that's good. And Megan Gustafson, it's just, I don't know how much I love that. So that's my biggest, like, I need them to be better, because having to watch Asia Wilson having to cover so many blow-bys, it's so exhausting just watching it. It's like, damn, she has to go from touching the corner to keeping her man away to then have to slide over, and that person driving out, kicking out, passing it to the person on the wing who then drives and picking up on this player. It's just a lot to do defensively if you're Asia Wilson. But again, she's the defensive player of the year, not last year, but years before. She's one of our better defenders. I can't complain. Also, she's an amazing player. Oh, I put in my thing Elizabeth Kitley. Is she gonna play this season? Hopefully. And then the first team, obviously, goes without saying, the New York Liberty. My thing in this is that they won a championship last year, right? So last year, you have to give them that respect of being the champions and putting them number one if you're doing a prediction video. But, you know, the con is that they won a championship. So usually, especially in the NBA, if that team that wins a championship usually kind of takes their foot off the gas and becomes more relaxed and carefree throughout the season until they get to the nitty gritty of the season to really hone in on what they're playing for. But this team got better on the off season. I mentioned they added Isabel Harrison and fucking brought back Marianne Johansson. I mean, this team is going to be really good. I love it. I love it. Like, they lost, they brought them in. Who did they lose? Vanslow? Are you crazy? I love me some Vanslow. You're not going to really miss her like that. You are, because she's a high IQ player, and you're going to miss that down the crunch of a basketball game. But my God, bro, like, they'll be okay. So then, like I said, the con is just championship fatigue. Is that going to play a factor into them giving themselves a chance to be the number one seed in the West and being a back-to-back champion? Especially when a lot of people don't even respect their championship. So that's going to be super interesting to see. And that is my predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Holy shit. I am tired. I am literally sweating because I can't turn my fan on because it's going to be in the audio. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed this. This is my first time talking WNBA on camera in a while. Hopefully I get the proper audience to see these kind of videos and start growing a community of WNBA fans with me. And yeah, man, hope you guys enjoy. If you don't mind, you know, leave your comments. I would love to know what you guys think about mine. What's yours? I'm always in comment sections. And yeah, man, I'm gonna get up out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I am out. Peace.